Well, hello. I'm Karen McDermott-Rolfe, Independent Advisor with Creative Memories. If you'd like to follow me, you can find me on Facebook at Karen's Croppers. I also have a blog at karencrops.com. And if you'd like to purchase through my Creative Memories website link, I would appreciate your orders at creativememories.com/user/Karen, and it's Karen with a Y. And you can find me at Karen McDermott-Rolfe. All right, so Technique Tuesday is a challenge that I now share monthly. So this is the 32nd time that I've done this. Whoops, there we go. And I share this technique, well, I've got it on my YouTube channel now, and then also in my private Facebook group where I issue a challenge to my followers to use the technique to create a layout to be entered into my monthly door prize drawing. So I encourage all of you to use this technique to make a layout. Join me over on Karen's Croppers in Facebook and enter your layout for my monthly door prize drawing. Before we get started with the layout, I would like to invite all of you to join me for my upcoming virtual weekend retreat on February 25th through the 27th. We're going to be using the Welcome Home decorative bundle that includes 2 packs of paper, stickers, embellishments, variety mats, and laser borders, and the honeycomb border maker cartridge to create 7 double page layouts of my own design. They're very pretty pages. They're highly decorative with some fine details. I think you're gonna like these layouts. They're quite pretty. In addition to the page classes, the event will feature some challenges, some fun and games, some door prizes. We'll have some scrap and chat sessions on Zoom where we can all interact. All of the page classes will be on Zoom. They'll be recorded, and there'll also be printable instructions for the layouts. So all of those materials will be shared in a private Facebook group for the event. So if you're not able to participate live on February 25th through the 27th, you can still join the event and have access to all of the materials. Also, if you purchase the Welcome Home decorative bundle and the honeycomb border maker cartridge through me, you can take $15 off of your registration price for the event. You can find more information and how to register for the event on my Facebook group at Karen's Croppers. So I hope that you can all join me. I would love to meet you and interact in Scrapbook with all of you. All right, let's talk about the layout for Technique Tuesday number 31. I've used the new Lullaby Lane collection from Creative Memories to create this super sweet little heart layout with some photos of my granddaughter Sophia. You know, it's February, it's the month of love, and I just kind of had hearts on my mind and the sweet new baby collection that Creative Memories has. So I used a sheet of paper here from the Lullaby Lane designer paper pack. I used the wood tone paper for my background. And then we also have a gender-specific coordinating pack, the Lullaby Lane Girl designer paper. And I've selected 6 different prints in the shades of pink with a little bit and some green. So I've got kind of an effect where I'm going from a lighter shades of the pink to darker, where I introduce the pink and the green, and then going back down. Also, just to mention, Lullaby Lane does have a little boy paper pack too that coordinates with it, along with 2 sticker packs, variety mats, and embellishment pack. Also, hopefully you guys all know that Creative Memories has a wonderful custom cutting system where we have our cutting blades, our mat, we've got templates such as circles, ovals, gemstones, and we also have a jumbo circle that we use a lot. But unfortunately, we do not have a jumbo heart template. So I found a way to create my own jumbo heart template that I've been using over and over for several years now. And I wanted to share this technique with you. What I've done is I've taken one of the insert papers from one of our paper packs. It's sturdier than cardstock. It's not as thick as cardboard, so it's easy to fold and cut. So what you're going to do is take one sheet of paper like this from the inserts. You're going to fold it in half, and you're going to get the crease. And then on the crease, you're going to use your pencil to draw a heart shape. Just kind of how we used to make Valentines in grammar school. Okay, so you draw that half of a heart shape, and you cut it out. And then you're going to get a heart template that you can use over and over again. So I have some black cardstock here, just happen to be what's the most handy at the moment. So I am going to trace with my pencil around my heart and then cut it out. So I'm just finishing cutting around the heart now. I traced it around the pattern, and I've used my micro tip scissors to cut it out. And it doesn't matter what color we're using, because this entire piece will be covered up by the designer paper. It just gives us something sturdy to tape everything to. I'm also going to use a tearing tool. This was the most recent tearing tool that Creative Memories had last year. We've had over the years several tearing tools, so you can use any one that you have. If you don't have one, just use a ruler, and that ruler is going to help you to tear, okay? Because we're going to make some torn pieces. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to fill up this heart shape with layers of torn strips, okay? It's going to be super cute. Okay, let's tear our strips now. If you're using paper with a directional pattern, you're going to look at the pattern here. It's in the upright position, and you're going to turn it on its side. So we're going to tear it down this way. We also want to turn the paper to the reverse side in order to get the nice torn white edge. So this is going to be the first piece of the heart, and I just need a straight edge for the top, and then I want the torn edge to be on the bottom of the strip. As you can see from the layouts, we have the torn edge are at the bottom of the strips. So I'm just going to lay it here on my cutting mat. I'm going to use this kind of as a ruler. I want it a little bit wider than 1.5 inches. You can probably go up to, 1 3/4 inches or so to give you more wiggle room. You're going to lay the tearing tool down on the paper or your ruler, and then you're just going to tear it towards yourself. And then when we turn it over to the side that we want to use, you're going to see we get the nice torn white edge. Okay, so you're going to do that with all 6 sheets of your designer print paper. Okay, I have all of my strips torn now, so let's talk about them for a second. I had said to tear them at about 1.5 inches or so. I would probably go ahead and cut them all at 1 3/4 inches or even up to 2 inches, and that's going to give you more wiggle room. I did also, when I was using my tearing tool, I alternated between using which edge. This edge here left kind of a finer ragged edge, and then this one left a more dramatic ragged edge. So you can use all of the same if you like, or alternate like I did. Also here, when we're looking at my strips, I did these, most of them I did a smidge larger, wider than 1.5 inches, except for this one with the words on them. It just repeats "love you so much" over and over. Well, or actually it says so much love, over and over. So I made that one wider, so that's going to be a little bit more prominent on my heart. So I have them stacked here, kind of in the reverse order now of how we're going to assemble. We're going to start at the bottom of the heart and work our way up. And for additional interest, I'm going to put them on diagonally. And I think what I'm going to do is to run my repositional tape all around the edge of this heart. And I think that is going to be easier than taping each individual strip. And I got it as close to that edge as I could, kind of run it over even a little bit. And now I'm going to add some every so often there. Now I think I probably have enough on that's going to hold this pretty good. The heart's not totally covered. You don't need to cover the whole thing, okay? So we're starting with the strip that's going to go on the bottom. And we're going to put it at a diagonal. Again, just to give it a little bit of more interest. We're only going to use part of this strip. So I think I'm going to kind of start at one end, because when we trim it off, I'll have all this as extra that I could use on something else to kind of conserve my paper. And now we're going to just overlap it a little bit, the next strip, but we need to come all the way over. See, so we've got the template, the black template covered up. Whoops, slipped on me a little bit. There we go. Now, which one is next? This one is next. And I want it just covering that up. But I need to come over enough. There we go. Here's my larger piece. And then my two top pieces. So now I might kind of take a look here where I'm at. So see how I'm doing that to get the spacing? So I am going to cover up more of this, the word print paper. Whoops. Okay, and now we want this one on top of it. I didn't mean for it to stick like that. I was just kind of had it gently laying there to space it. And now that's going to go on top. There we go. At this point, if you'd like, you can go ahead and you can add some little bit of tape under some of those places. I think I'm going to leave it because it just gives it a little bit of dimension, leaves a little bit more shadow. It kind of highlights the torn edges. So now if we turn it over, we see our heart shape. And again, I'm going to take these microtip scissors. I always say they are one of my very favorite tools. They just fit so nicely in your hand. They're a small size. They have a nice grip. They're easy to maneuver. They've got a nice, very fine pointy tip. And they're also Teflon coated. So if you get some adhesive on it, it rubs off really nicely. So I might get some little stray pieces of that repositional tape on the scissors, and I can just rub them off. Now while you're cutting this, if you cut a little bit on your black template, that's okay. You're not going to really notice it, okay? I have used this technique to make many different layouts with my croppers over the years. I've been an advisor for 20 years, and I've been doing page classes with them all along for this long. So we've used this technique. We've filled the heart with just simple straight strips. We put the strips at the diagonal. We filled the heart with border maker chain, pieces of the border maker that we punched out and we layered on the heart. We did some where we layered border maker pieces with just solid strips of paper. We've used some triangle pieces inside of this heart to make kind of a patchwork looking heart. And you can find some of those examples on my blog at karencrops.com. Now look at that, isn't that cute? Cute, cute. Now I can see here I need a little bit more tape with that piece, definitely. Maybe, just around the edges. And I'm just kind of feeling here with my fingers to see where I need a little bit more. And then I need to snip that kind of looked a little stray. Now let's see how it's going to look on the background paper instead of that ugly gray matte. Oh, that is so super cute, is it not? I love this. It's so sweet. It's going to look so cute with a photo of one of my granddaughters, or maybe both of my granddaughters. Alrighty, I have finished my layout, and I just wanted to pop back on just to talk a little bit about how I completed the layout. I thought it had a little extra space at the top and the bottom, so I added 2 paper strips that I cut from the paper that has the words on it that say "So Much Love," and I was careful to cut in between the lines of that script. So these strips here, paper on the top and the bottom, are 1/4 of an inch, but I had to do a little trimming, you know, so I was able to get right in between those lines. So they're each 12 inches by 1/4 inch, I took my brown dual tip pen, I used the fine tip part, and I added a little faux stitching around the outside of the heart. My photos, they're both 4x4 photos, and I just wanted a really thin matte on them. I didn't want the brown to be too overwhelming or too dominant. I wanted to keep it real soft, so I did a very thin matte. So my matte, it's one piece here going across 4 inches by 4 1/8. So it's 4 1/8, and my photos were 4x4. And then going vertically, it is 8 by 8 1/8. All right, so it's 4 1/8 and 8 1/8. Okay, for the photo mat. The journaling box here I fussy cut from a variety mat. I added little baby girl stickers from the Lullaby Lane stickers, and then I made a little bow embellishment here on my own. So I had some leftover scraps from when we cut the strips, tore the strips, and I have this piece here turned out to be 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. But you can make these squares any size. So it's 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to just try to cut a straight line almost to the center, but not quite to the center. You don't want your lines to meet. It's a little bit of a pinwheel kind of effect. And then we're going to fold the triangular pieces over. And depending on what side of the paper you want to show, you know, you can fold it either way. So I wanted the pink hearts to show, and the little green will be like the inside of the bow. And I'm going to leave it just like this, and it gives it some nice dimension. See how it pops up? Cute little bow. And then I needed something for the center. So for the center, you could use a gemstone or an epoxy little circle would be a cute center for these bows. Or I did a little hand-tied raffia style bow from a very thin strip of the brown cardstock. That's probably 1/16 of an inch wide. And I do have another video on YouTube showing how to tie these raffia style bows. And so I did that, and I thought that looked really sweet with my layout. And that is how I finished it. So I hope that everybody gives it a try. I would love to see all of your variations of this torn heart technique. Please join me on Facebook at Karen's Croppers and share your layouts. You could be entered into my monthly door prize drawing, and we would just all love to see all of the different variations of this layout. So thanks so much for visiting with me today.